Happy Halloween to all my fellow viewers, and today I have a wonderfully well picked out film titled Black Dragons. That's right, Black Dragons! A film with no dragons or black people, that is. And it's not really a horror film, so that'd make it, the 20th film on this box set so far that is not a tale of terror? It does, however, have Bela Lugosi, again, so how can you hate it? The film begins with Bela Lugosi's character interrogating a man from a group of businessmen, a man we don't know, and it's awkward to say the least. We don't know what the conversation is about or why it's happening, but it begins our movie. Then we meet some of the other characters who inhabit the house, including the niece and a butler. We get some really confusing dissolves to incidents going on in each individual corporation, I guess to indicate the damage these businessmen are causing. This is an early World War II film, so there's a few mentions of the war effort throughout, and about the fear of the Japs. Oh, the Japs! So after Lugosi murders one of the businessmen, they send a detective to the house to investigate a real sexist frat boy type, who I guess is meant to start a relationship with the niece, but they don't really go into it much.
Alice, will you marry me?
What for?
So I can beat you up.
Meanwhile, Lugosi is just chilling in the house, but is constantly using secret passageways to head into the uncle's room, where he's under some kind of hypnosis, and Lugosi can control what he's saying through the most confusing visual shot. Seriously, what's supposed to be going on here? Most of the time, it looks like a static image. So Lugosi pins this guy down and somehow can get the uncle to talk like a puppet?
Uncle Bill! Uncle Bill! Uncle Bill, I have to see you. Something terrible has happened.
I'm very tired, dear. Please don't disturb me.
There's this random guy who breaks into the house who Lugosi swiftly kills. We never find out until the end why Lugosi is killing all these guys, but at the same time, we never really understand why this guy broke into the house to begin with. Some of the editing is really confusing. At one point, Lugosi sneaks out of an apartment, but how didn't these guys see him? What even happened here? What about here, halfway through a conversation, they just fade away? Was that it? Is that how most conversations end in cheap 40s movies? Other times they make it seem like he's sneaking right past sleeping people in bedrooms, but they never establish exactly how the secret passages work. Most of the time you'll just be confused from the editing, the establishing shots, and the story in general. You know who the murderer is, but you never discover why he's doing it until the very end. But it's the final twist that really makes up for the rest of the movie. It's not really a good twist by any means, but it's so unbelievably funny and insane that I actually kind of admire the creativity. It's so baffling that it almost works. So if you want to watch this movie for yourself and be surprised, stop the video now and put on this quick 1-hour movie. Alright, so like I said, this is right as World War II began, and there's apparently this right-wing group in Japan called the Black Dragons, which is what this film is based on. During the final act, they show the history of Lugosi and the Black Dragons. He was a professional plastic surgeon from the Nazi Party, who the Black Dragons hired to do their own surgery, where they would change their faces to look like the real and important businessmen from America. They would kill the real ones off, take their place, and cause disruption in the US economy. Yes, this is actually what happens. I'll give it credit that there's not too many offensive Japanese stereotypes, and for the most part, there's real Asian actors, but my God, was this written by some madman? My word, the Japs, they could be anywhere, they may even be ourselves! Alright, point is, this makes no sense, but it apparently worked. They were able to replace all the businessmen. As to how they got the voices down perfectly, I have no idea. But the Black Dragons successfully get the treatment and head over to the US. But before that, they decide to imprison Lugosi, since he's the only one who knows the truth, screwing him over. So that's why he went to America to kill them all, as an act of revenge. Okay, but how did he get out of prison? Well, using plastic surgery skills, he used a different prisoner's face to look like his own, swapping places pretty much. So that's why he no longer has a beard. This is Fine enough, I guess, but why does the other prisoner have to look exactly like him? Did you really need the other prisoner to be portrayed by Lugosi for the audience to get what happened? Well, with this movie's confusing editing, I guess they had to do that. And in any case, why would the other guy be released from prison anyway? Isn't he a prisoner of war or something? This movie is bananas. But bananas are good, so I think I kind of like it. This is exactly what I think of when I want to watch a cheesy, low-budget film, with bad editing, bad visual narrative, and a twist that could only come out of the looniest of minds. I love it. Thank you for watching the video. A special thanks to Chris, Lucas, and Ryan for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to be like them and get exclusive access to content and blogs, and even request reviews monthly, please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for your support.
I'm not exactly illiterate, you know. I can read the newspapers.
I gather you're not frightened either.
A busy man has very little time to indulge in feminine emotions.